Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. Quickly, we're looking at the silver futures chart. Using the mini silver futures chart as our proxy at the moment. What you're looking at is a situation where we are trading below the Kumo cloud now on the daily chart, and you can see we're getting close to that long-term support right around that $30 level. And you see that for a while we've been having lower highs, and then we have lower lows. So the steady trend is downward. So we have some bearish bias in this market. When the prices are trading above the long-term support line but below the Kumo cloud, we call that a weak uptrend or a weak bull market. Still bullish overall because we're trading above the long-term moving average support line, but we're below the Kumo cloud, so it is a weak bullish market at this point, which means that it has all the potential to become a bear market. Right now it is bearish as we're below the Kumo cloud, so we would say that we expect prices to continue to move sideways to slightly lower as eventually it gets down here to the trend line support area. So I would not be a buyer here. I'd be actually looking to sell here and look to take my first profit right here around these lows. Okay. The caveat would be if some kind of news or something of that nature comes out to change it. The other bearish factor we have is that the green line is below the red line, and that's usually that shows that we are still in retracement mode from the highs that we had back here. Alright, so that's the silver chart. Taking a look now at gold. You see gold is in a different chart pattern altogether. You can see we're consolidated at the top, at the highs here, okay, as the market kept trying to bump out and hit new highs. But then now we're having to get some lower lows here and some lower highs. So we're starting to build a downward momentum spiral in gold, and we went inside of the Kumo cloud, which is our sideways consolidation, and then we tried to break out above it only to start to get back into the cloud again. So we expect sideways to lower prices in the gold market as well. Within the next 3 to 5 days. You have strong support at the 1479 level right here. It's a strong support, and then the next support would not be until we get down to the trend line support at 1379. Alright, that's a long way to go, but all things being equal, if this green line crosses below this red line, which the lines have met now, there's a battle. That's the battle line. That means that the gold market's uptrend or current uptrend is in jeopardy. We're still bullish. It's still a bull market. You can make the argument in the case to actually look for opportunities to buy, but because of the sideways consolidation action at the top, failure to really get something going here. We tried to do it here, and then we just topped out. So it's really hard to say at this point which way it's going to go, but once you usually get into that cloud, you can stay there for an extended period of time. Okay, so you want to watch out for that. Let's take a look now at the Nasdaq. Alright, this is the E-mini Nasdaq 100 futures contract. You can see here it's kind of a similar situation as the silver. We're trading above the long-term trend line support, but we are below the Kumo cloud, and we're bumping up against the resistance line right here. The base of the Kumo cloud serves as resistance, and that's what we're hitting up here. This 2306 level is going to serve as resistance. Okay, notice how we basically excuse me, showed signs of topping out yesterday. Also, this green line is below the red line. Okay, that's a consolidation. I'm sorry, a retracement pattern. Okay, so you can see we crossed below it up here, and we began a long-term retracement. Look how far down we've come and how long we've been falling. Then it broke that course of action and started a new uptrend off support. Okay, so now we bounced, but now we're having some trouble here at this base of this Kumo cloud. And we can break into the Kumo cloud and consolidate for a while. And then we can build up enough pressure to push us back up above the 2347 and resume the bullish uptrend. So we have to watch and see what happens, but we do have resistance that we're looking at right here. I would be weary of buying here, up in here at this resistance level. Again, I'll be looking for opportunities to sell this. Looks like we may have to come back down and test support, whether it be here, here, or here. But chances are, as long as we're looking like this, we're gonna test down. Green line is turned up and starting to head up toward the red line, but it's yet to be seen where we're going to go from here. Same thing if you look at the mini Dow. Mini Dow is into the cloud now. It popped up past its 12,179 resistance and closed into the cloud. The Dow cloud is quite wide. It ranges from 12,179 to 12,483. So you have a long way to go within the consolidation cloud. We typically do not buy or sell within the consolidation cloud. We stand aside and let the market choose a direction. What I'll be looking to do here again is seeing if it's going to break below the cloud, and I'll look for an opportunity to sell as we get back down here toward these support levels and possibly head back down toward the long-term moving average of 11,580. Once we get to the moving average and stock indexes, once they get back down to their long-term moving average support and test that support and base that support, and may even break it a little bit, I think that's going to set the ground level for the next bull market, for the next bull run up. Alright, as crazy as it may sound, I think we have to get down here and test this. This is not a test of the long-term moving average. A test of the long-term moving average is when prices touch the moving average, whether it be the lows touching the moving average or the highs or the closes. But we need to touch this moving average. If we don't, then this right here, this base support, is not a real support. Okay. Let's take a look at a few other things here. Let's look at this crude oil. Alright, as you can see, the light sweet crude oil futures contract is it touched its long-term moving average support line, and it's trying to get a bounce from there. Okay, the Obama releasing the strategic oil reserves is being done in an effort to stop this bleeding here. Okay, so that we could bolster up the petrodollar price. If the petrodollar can be bolstered up, then it will stop the US dollar index from tanking. We got about 3 weeks left until the dollar collapses totally, and a collapse is assumed if the US dollar index closes below 70. Okay, once that happens, it is a very fast sucking sound vacuum noise to the bottom to about 40 cents. Okay, this is the only hope we have for strengthening up that dollar. Okay, here it is right here. They try to do it. Now we're consolidating within yesterday's bar. Alright, this is what we call an inside day, narrow range day, which means it's building up for an explosive move either up or down. Either we're going to test this support line at 91.78, or we're going to try to explode past the 96.50 resistance to get back up to 101.48 inside the cloud. Alright, that's where we are on the crude oil. Let's take a look at corn. Actually, alright, corn futures has been in a downward spiral. Tried to break that spiral now. Again, we have an inside day like we did in the crude oil. I believe a grain report or something is going to be coming out shortly. That could push prices beyond this the 695.88 resistance, and then the final resistance at 718.38. Once we get above the 713.38, we should have no problem breaking through the $8. Okay, no problem at all. Long-term support line is at 613.69. All right. Once we get above this, that's all she wrote on the corn. Soybeans, a little bit different. It's really struggling here, as you can see, and looking like it's going to fall down first and hit the long-term support of 1262 3/4. Very narrow Kumo cloud, so it won't take much to break through 1356 if it can ever get there. All right. Wheat is looking the same thing. Still in the same zone there. Okay. And let's look at Apple Computer. Apple Computer, again, lower lows, lower highs. We broke out. Now we're in an uptrend, and we're testing the base of that support now. We have an initial support at 331.32, and we have a resistance at 339.01. So again, this right here is neutral to bearish. We're in a weak uptrend as well. Okay, so watch that one for clues here. Looks like this one wants to reverse after the holidays and get back down again. Even though the green line is trying to turn up and cross this red line again, it's still going to be a very hard fought situation. So take a look at that and be careful. And then last but not least, looking at Google, you can see this continue to fall down. Try to break that now. If we can close up today, then we would have had 3 nice little up closes, but we got resistance at 503, and we're trading below the 546 long-term moving average, which is now long-term resistance at 546.65, which means we're in a well-established now downtrend below the Kumo cloud, below the long-term moving average resistance, and 503 is going to be the next resistance target that you're going to look to sell. We should look like this here. Okay, and then this right here is your last sell signal, right up in here. Boom, here we go. Okay, all right, that's all I have time for right now. So thanks for tuning in. Be encouraged. Remember, take what you can and give nothing back.